guys, a happy Wednesday. It's Joe and it's time for Pocket with Joe. We only got 4 games on the board, but you know what? We've got some great action on the ice tonight. I'm excited for these games. I think we have lots of opportunities to make some money. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me here. Keith, nice to know your handle there at Spider777. I saw you today over on Twitter. So let's make some freaking money today, you guys. We're going to kick it off right away. I hope you guys made some money yesterday. There was a lot of opportunities to make some money on the board yesterday. We definitely cashed some as well. So I tell you that those first periods with some of those games were beautiful. Well, let's jump into today. Hey, Benji, nice to see you here again today. So the Buffalo Sabres and the Washington Capitals, this one kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern. And I just have to check odds here, make sure we've had no movement on these lines. I'm expecting the Buffalo Sabres to come up here. We're getting them at minus 102 versus the Washington Capitals, minus 118 for the Caps. Total of 6.5 juiced highly to that over at minus 132 to the over, plus 108 to the under. In this one, I have to hit the Buffalo Sabres here. I think they're going to come out nice and fast versus the Washington Capitals today. Now, when we look at the Capitals, this is our first home game of a 2-game road trip, but they played last night. So normally I don't like to fade teams when they've had only a couple days on the road, but this is one where they lost to the Rangers last night. That was a 5-3 loss. They had to travel back home, taking on the Buffalo Sabres, who are an extremely fast-playing team. They're averaging over 32 shots on goal per game, which I think is going to be just too much for Lindgren and the defense of the Washington Capitals. The Capitals allowing that 30.4. I think this is a prime opportunity to hit the Buffalo Sabres as the dog on the road. Now, it was plus 100 earlier, at minus 102. Still like the value we're getting on the Buffalo Sabres. The road team has played very strong versus these two, with the road team going a 6-2 in the last 8 meetings between them. And while we have seen the Sabres really struggle in Washington, I don't think this is one where they struggle in. The Capitals just are absolutely struggling on no days rest. They've gone 0-4 in their last 4 games, playing on that no days rest, and especially with them coming home to this game, I think this is a nice opportunity to fade the Capitals. Now, I have not seen if Ovechkin is out, but it looks like Ovechkin will be out for this one. So if you like the Sabres with me, I think you need to grab this line right now, because if Ovechkin is out of this game, we will see this line, I think, flip. I would expect Buffalo to be a heavy favorite in this one without Ovechkin. So you also got to look at the Capitals at home. They're 1-6 in their last 7 home games. There's a couple of different ways we can hit this as well. I would look at the Buffalo Sabres in that first period on the money line. I've been loving hitting these ones on the money line for those games. Now, Tuck is back in the lineup. He was back in the lineup in the last game for the Sabres. And we know the Sabres are coming off that big win versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I do think this is a prime opportunity for them to keep rolling. They're battling out these games, sitting 5th in the Atlantic. I think we have a higher scoring first period as well. Looking at the over 1.5 is another great way to go with this game in that first period. And looking at this total at 6.5, I would expect it to go over, but I'm liking the Buffalo Sabres team total more to that over. I would look at them before I look at the full game over. So we know the Sabres are only 1-4 in their last 5 overall, but with Alex Tuck back, I do think he makes a huge impact to this team. I don't think this is a letdown after getting the win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this is something I always look at. When a team comes off a big win, pulling off the upset, the letdown in the next spot. This isn't a letdown spot for me. Looking at how much the Buffalo Sabres need to fight. Sitting 5th in the Atlantic, they do not want to not make a wild card spot. So that's what I'm looking at for this game. Just going to look at your comments here. Let's get it today, Johnny, for sure. You made the Blackhawks on the money line plus 350 and the puck line plus 150. Lewis, I love to hear that. Absolutely. Congratulations to you having faith in the Chicago Blackhawks. We talked about those Boston Bruins. Look for them to get up in the next couple of games, though. They got the Jets and the Wild on deck. They notoriously have played weak against the Chicago Blackhawks after clinching the Atlantic. It was another fade for them. We know they lost to the Red Wings. It kind of gets dangerous when you're betting for such a strong team to lose these games. But I am so glad you had faith and you made some money with that. Kenny, big shout out to you too. Ovi is out, backup goalie in, got their butts kicked last night. Yeah, I completely agree here, Benji. This is the Buffalo Sabres or no one in this. He's not listed in the props. Perfect. So it looks like Ovechkin will be out for the Washington Capitals. When the books don't list it, you know that's where they're going with that one. Yeah, they were at plus 120 earlier this morning. I got them at plus 100. I missed that plus 120. I got them at plus 100. So it was, you got to get some of these ones before the show. Tag Thompson, over 3.5 shots on goal. Absolutely. He has been firing, and we know the Washington Capitals allow these shots to come in, allowing about 30.4 shots on goal per game. So Tage Thompson, a great person to look at here. I'd look at him for the anytime goal as well. Oh, you're going to hit the Lightning reverse puck line. I caution you with that. You're going to hit them on the puck line at minus 1.5. I caution you. I think it's the Avs game. We'll break that one down in just a second. I didn't hear. Shout out to Anthony, a Raven Sabres on the money line. I am with you. It's official. Ovi is out. Kenny, perfect. You guys go get the Sabres now before you see that movement as everyone starts betting the Sabres. You got them at plus 105. Absolutely love it. So you guys, I'm really happy for everyone that's already on the Sabres. Fingers crossed. They come out nice and strong like we expect in this one. Like I said, first half or first period over 1.5, I love as well in this game. I think this is a nice one. Oh, you hit the Lightning last night. I love it. Congratulations. So that is a great hit there. It was, I could not believe I went against the Devils yesterday. I felt sick to my stomach going against the Devils because I love what we've seen out of the New Jersey Devils. I'm so glad you guys had faith and took Tampa with me. Big faith to you taking the reverse puck line, but it was just a bad situation for the New Jersey Devils. We have to bet against those teams in those bad situations, but the Devils have been moneymakers for me. So it hurt me mentally betting against the Devils yesterday, but it did cash. So we got to look for those opportunities, you guys, where we can. Let's look at the next game here. We've got the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Colorado Avalanche. I don't know why I was thinking Lightning. Toronto coming in here as the favorite right now. The Toronto Maple Leafs are minus 142 on that money line, plus 118 for Colorado. So we're getting better odds than I got earlier on Colorado. And we got a total of 6.5, minus 112 to the over and under in this one. I think the Avs take this win over the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Toronto, they lost that last game to the Sabres. I look at this team, and Ryan O'Reilly's not in. He's got the broken finger. Toronto lets themselves down in a lot of situations. And yes, they're coming in here off a loss, which is scary. They're at home in this one. Samsonov expected in goal. Georgiev expected here for Colorado. Colorado's rolling hot. They've won their last 2 games. All the value is on the Colorado Avalanche right now. I got them earlier at plus 115, plus 18. I love even more. I think they have the chance of pulling off the upset win here. Now, the last time these two teams did play, Toronto got a big win. They dominated the game back in December. They got a 6-2 win. And like I said, Toronto off a loss is scary. But when we look at Colorado, how they've done on the road as of late, they won 5 of their last 6 games on the road. And how they played in Toronto, they won 4 of the last 5 meetings in Toronto. I think this one is a back and forth battle here. We're going to need a little bit of puck luck for Colorado, but I do think they get the win, and I can't say no at plus 115, plus 118, whatever you can get at. Plus money on the Colorado Avalanche, who I really do think will make it far into the playoffs. I could see them making it to the Stanley Cup this year, you guys. This is a team I definitely want to back. Now, looking at the first period, over 1.5, it's coming in at minus 145. You guys know that's getting a little juicy for me. I do like it, though. I think it's great for parlays. I do think both teams, though, score in that first period. And this is where we have been cashing some great plus money, you guys. I'm confident that both teams can get a goal in this first period. plus 156 for both teams to score in the first period. So I love it. I think we got a high scoring one here at 6.5 is the total. I think this is a 4-3 game. Either way it goes, and I'm willing to take a chance on Colorado here. Cale Makar, I would look at his anytime goal. Don't look at the shots on goal for anyone out of Colorado, because we know that the Maple Leafs have done a very good job at limiting opponents' ability to get these shots, holding opponents to 28.9 shots on goal per game. So my best advice when you're looking at shot props, you guys, if you're looking at one player because he's been playing really hot, getting these shots on goal, you're better off taking him for the anytime goal if you believe they can get a lot of shots on goal, because we look at teams like Toronto, Calgary, the New Jersey Devils, the Carolina Hurricanes, teams that are holding opponents to under 29 shots on goal per game. You want to look at taking the players and their opponents for their anytime goal, because we know those players are going to be limited with the amount of shots that they get. They're going to hit less shots than normal because these defenses will step up. So that's my best advice for those shots on goal. But I do think Cale Makar, you could look at him for the goal, or Nathan MacKinnon. We know Nathan MacKinnon has been playing so solid as well. Austin Matthews is coming out really strong for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So looking at Austin Matthews here, you could look at him for his shots on goal, because the Colorado Avalanche are giving up 31.5 shots on goal per game. So that is what I am looking at in this game. I do think it goes over that total. Yeah, the Rangers last night coming out so strong. Missed a 7-teamer. Oh, man, I hate that. Let's get it tonight, though. Under the Leafs play good when they lose. Yeah, the Leafs do come out strong after a loss. It's going to be a crazy game. Anthony, you're riding with the plus 122. I do think that first period, though, you can count on the over in the first period. After that, we could see defenses locked down on both sides. So I'm a little cautious with the full game over the 6.5, but I do like the first period over. Avs are the buy high team of the week. I love it. You hitting the Avs all week long. We just got so much value here. The Avs plus 1.5 when both teams to score 2 is plus money. I love it. You can't go wrong with that. Both teams are going to get 2 goals in this game. We're also going to have a tight game where the Avs could win. I think it's a 3-4 game. Benji, great play there. Let's jump into the next game, you guys. We have the Minnesota Wild taking on the St. Louis Blues. This one kicks off at 9:30 Eastern. Let me just check current odds here, make sure nothing has moved. The Wild actually dropped down here on the money line, minus 137 for the Wild, plus 114 for the St. Louis Blues. Total sitting solid at 5.5, juiced highly to that over at minus 138 to the over, the under at plus 112. You guys, earlier the Minnesota Wild were minus 150. We're seeing some love coming for the St. Louis Blues team, who did win back in January 3-0. Now, Jordan Binnington expected in goal for this game for them. Gustafsson expected here for the Wild. Now, when we look at both of these teams, we do have a stronger team out of the Minnesota Wild sitting second in the Central. We got the St. Louis Blues rolling in here 6th in the Central. They're off a loss on Sunday to the Vegas Golden Knights 5-3. And we have the Minnesota Wild off a loss to the Coyotes in overtime on Sunday 5-4. The Coyotes played them really hard. Coyotes love to get those upsets on their home ice. So we've got the Wild still on the road here. I do expect a strong defensive game out of both of these teams. We know the Wild sometimes have been putting up these points. So, and at that total of 5.5, man, I tell you, it's so easy to be able to go over. If we see a couple connections here, I'm going to stay off the total. If I had to take it, I want to take the under, but I do think it probably sneaks over that with an empty netter or something weird. This is the last game of a road trip here for the Minnesota Wild. And when I look at this, I look at who they have on deck. They have the Bruins on deck on Saturday. I do expect the Wild to come out strong to start this game. I'm going to take them on the puck line in the first period. You guys know I'm always searching for plus money and how I can get my best value in these bets that I'm putting up. So taking the Minnesota Wild on the puck line in the first period is coming in at plus 154. I love the plus money. I do think they go up over the St. Louis Blues. You can take them on the money line in that first period if you're a little bit worried. At worst, I think we'll get a push. I really can't see St. Louis going up by a goal and the Minnesota Wild not sneaking one in there. So the money line is a safer bet in that first period, but I'm going to take a chance on the puck line because you guys know I'm an idiot for that plus money. So puck line minus a half a goal in the first period is plus 154. I'll probably sprinkle that and do a solid bet on the money line in the first period. Let me know what you guys are liking. Wild money line, give me that. Yeah, I think the Wild on the money line for the full game, a minus 137 is a strong way to go as well. Just a little bit of worry here with them having the Bruins on deck. If they kind of look past the St. Louis Blues team who's sitting 6th in the Central, it might be a little bit of a look ahead here, but we do have a couple days until they play them. Kaprizov out. Yeah, it is unpredictable. Over one first period, Minnesota Wild, St. Louis Blues, and Fleury in net. It could be Fleury in a net for them. Yeah, I do think it goes over in that first period. Absolutely. Happy hump day to you as well, Kev. Everyone is under first period, like over first period today. Yeah, I don't like when everyone is on one side. Fade it. When in doubt, trust the Wild. Yeah, you got to trust the Wild here. Ducks, Ducks, Ducks. Let's talk about those Ducks. The New York Islanders taking on the Anaheim Ducks tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, late game on the board. We have a total. Let me just make sure nothing has moved. We have a total of 5.5 juice to the over, minus 122 to the over, minus 200 for the Islanders. So they're getting love here, plus 164 for the Anaheim Ducks. John Gibson expected for the Ducks and Varlamov expected here for the New York Islanders. Now the Islanders are on a back-to-back here after being completely dominated by the LA Kings. Thank God. That line yesterday really scared me with the Kings, you guys. Why were the Kings such slight favorites in that matchup? It still is crazy to me, but we got the win. That's all that mattered. I was nervous for that one, not going to lie. But the Islanders rolling in here now on a back-to-back as the favorite. The Islanders are sitting 5th in the Metro, and they're pretty confusing. They've been so inconsistent. I hate backing this team, and I know I already see some of you guys wanting the Ducks, and I just can't get there with the Ducks. They're sitting 7th in the Pacific. They got the Blue Jackets on deck on Friday. So no, like, look ahead. The Ducks are competing in every single game they go on. But I look at this New York Islanders team. I tell you, they need to get the win here. Sitting 5th in the Metro, they cannot afford to lose this game. They're fighting for a wild card spot, and if they don't get this one, I don't know if they have any chance of getting a wild card spot here. And we look at them in the 4 games in 6 days. This is not a strong position for them. They're 2-5 in those last 7. The home team between these two has had the advantage. So there's so much value here on the Anaheim Ducks. I see them struggling to score in this one. The Ducks just haven't been putting up those goals. What I'm going to do is, because the Islanders have been so inconsistent, I can't bet them for the full game. Do I expect them to win? Yes. Can we expect a team to win and get a bet to hit? Yeah, we can, but it's not a situation I like to ride. Just with their inconsistencies, I'm going to look in that first period. I expect the Islanders, off of that loss last night to the Kings, to come out so strong in that first period, win the first period, cover the puck line in the first period. Laying a half a goal with the Islanders on that puck line in the first period is plus 142. I only have confidence in them in the first period because of what we've seen out of them. Now, the last time they faced the Ducks, they absolutely dominated them. 7-2-1 win back in October. Could they do that again? Absolutely. But I'm just going to have faith in that first period. I also think, even though this total is low at 5.5, if the Islanders win this one, it is a low-scoring game. I could see this one being a 3-1 game here. So I'm going to take the under 5.5. Which does give me a little bit of concern in that first period, because we could see a first period where both of these teams just stand up defensively and the Islanders aren't able to find the back of the goal. Then we're going to lose our bet of the Islanders in that first period, but we would hit the under 5.5 more than likely for the full game. So I'm liking both ways in this. I do think it's 1-0 going into that second period for the New York Islanders. We'll probably have a scoreless second period. We sweat it out in the third. I think the Ducks probably tie it up and we sweat this one out. So it's going to be a crazy game on the ice tonight, you guys. Let me know what you're liking. James, I know you like the Ducks. I hope if you bet it, I hope you win it. But I really do think this is one where New York is desperate. They're desperate to win this. You like the Islanders puck line. That is a lot of faith, Raven. I love it. All the best to you for the Islanders on the puck line tonight. They're strong on the road on that puck line, 19-15 on the road on the puck line. The Anaheim Ducks haven't been that strong, 13-7 at home on that puck line, only 11-16-3 at home this season. Ducks reverse puck line. You are going for the money tonight, -1.5. I tell you, the Ducks are able to do that to the Islanders. The Islanders should just stay home for the rest of the season. I wish you guys all of the best. Larry, you're going to ride with the Sabres, the Avs, the Wild, and the Isles on the money line. I love that. I think that you are definitely on the winning side of all of those bets tonight, Larry. So all the best in that bet. You guys, that's a good parlay right there. Larry, let us know what odds you are getting on taking all 4 of those teams straight up on that money line. New Yorkers don't even trust the Islanders. Yeah, there's so many inconsistencies with them. Zegras, anytime goal. That is a nice one, David. I like where you're going with that. Looking at the anytime goals tonight, I definitely think we have a lot of opportunity to make some money. All of those late games last night flew over the total. Edmonton and the Senators, wow, you guys, that game was insane. Both teams to score in that first period easily hit. We made beautiful plus money with that. The Sens did better in the first period than I expected. They put up 2 goals. Edmonton put up 2 goals. We had 4 goals in that first period, easily taking us over that full total of that game. I was nervous of the 7.5, but wow, that flew over. High scoring ones. Now, Kelly, you're riding with Washington, Buffalo, both teams to score in the first period or over 1 first period. Both teams to score a goal in regulation, Washington Capitals as a parlay piece. I like it. I really do think we have a high scoring game in that one. We know the Capitals will be digging deep at home. I think tired legs, though, I think their defense lets them down a little bit, but both teams to score is a nice way to take that one. I love both teams to score in Colorado and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think that one is a nice piece there in that first period. So let's build the parlay, you guys. And then I'll let you guys get on with your merry day. Merry day. That's a weird statement. Okay, the Buffalo Sabres and the Washington Capitals. I am hyped on caffeine today, guys. I had like way too many. And then I got a Starbucks and I've had my coffee at home. I've had my coffee out at brunch with my son. It is a caffeine day. That is for sure. Larry, that parlay. Oh my God. Plus $1,040. I love it. 1,040 plus 1,040. I'm going to hit that as well. I love it. Larry, I'm going to tell you on that. You guys, that was at plus 1,040. That was the Sabres, the Avs, the Wild, and the Islanders on the money line tonight. Beautiful, beautiful parlay there. Great plus money. Okay. Choose for the anytime goal at plus 190. Anthony, absolutely love it. He is going to come out strong. That's for sure. Took the Oilers to score first. That is straight money, Benji. Great for you for doing that. Senators made me lose. I hate team. I hate that. Damn Senators. Damn Edmonton. I am sorry that you lost that one. Okay. Buffalo and Washington. You guys, this should be a really good game. Give me the Sabres all day long, twice on Tuesday. In the parlay, I'm going to throw the Sabres on the money line. I think they're going to come out fast in this game. I do like them in the first period. I like both teams to score in the first period, like Kelly throughout. I like the first period over 1.5. I think we got a high scoring one here. The full game over that 6.5, I expect another 4-3 style game. Washington isn't going to lay down in this one, but I just don't think they have what it takes to contain the Buffalo Sabres. They're going to come out fast in this game. It's going to give the defense of the Washington Capitals that are on that back-to-back a hard time tonight. So for the parlay, give me the Sabres on the money line for one of my best bets of the day, the Sabres on the money line. So best bet and parlay for the Sabres here today. Now, the Colorado Avalanche and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, you guys, the Avs on the money line with that beautiful plus money. I'll throw into the parlay. I can't see Toronto pulling this one off. I know they're dangerous off a loss, but this is going to be a great game. Now, favorite bets of this game is the Avs and Toronto, both teams to score in the first period. That is coming in at plus 156 for the Avs and the Leafs, both teams to score. I also like the over 1.5. If you're a little concerned about both teams to score, you can take the over 1.5 that's coming in. It's juiced at minus 145, but I do think it is a solid way to go. Now, the Minnesota Wild and the St. Louis Blues. I love the Wild here in the first period today at minus a half a goal at plus 154. That is one of my favorite. That's my favorite bet of this game, the Wild. Puck line first period at plus 154. For the parlay, you guys, man, I just have to take the Wild in regulation. I tell you, Larry, you are, my brain is thinking the same as yours tonight. I do think the Wild take this one in regulation. I just don't see the St. Louis Blues being able to pull this off. That will actually just put the Wild on the money line because it's minus 137. We can hit it at that. Kind of a short price for the Wild here. That's the only thing that gives me a little bit of concern. Now, the New York Islanders and the Anaheim Ducks here. I love the Islanders in the first period on that puck line at minus 0.5 at plus 142. Favorite bet of that game. I do think the Ducks team total stays under that number of 2.5 in this game. That's coming in at minus 104. The last time they played the Islanders, they were only able to put up one goal. So I do think this is a nice one to look at the Ducks, fade that team total there. So for the parlay in this one, I'm going to have to take the Ducks team total. I feel the most confident. Actually, I'm going to take the Islanders on the money line in the first period. I do think they come out strong in that first period. So for that parlay, the long shot parlay, you guys, or you take the Islanders straight up. That is exactly what Larry was throwing out there. The Sabres on the money line, the Avs on the money line, the Wild on the money line, and the Islanders on the money line in the first period is what I'm going to go with. You can go for the full game. Best bets of the day, the Sabres, money line all day long. The Avs, money line all day long, but I also absolutely love both teams to score in the first period at plus 156 for the Avs and the Leafs. I love the Wild on the puck line in the first period at plus 154 and the Islanders first period on the puck line at plus 142. So I might also hit, I think I'm going to parlay the Wild puck line first period and the Islanders puck line first period. Now it's getting a little greedy with me to parlay both of those because they're both already beautiful plus money. But I really do feel confident in both of these teams to come out and dominate in that first period. I also love the Buffalo Sabres in the first period. I think they walk out with that first period lead as well. We know this team is one of those teams that we can see put up 4 goals in that first period, just coming out, flying out of the gate. So I'm going to parlay all 3 of those Buffalo puck line first period as well. So the long shot parlay is the Sabres on the money line, the Avs on the money line, the Wild on the money line, the Islanders on the money line in the first period. I'm going to take then 3 first period winners here on that. Actually, just give me the money line in the first period for the Wild, the Islanders, and the Buffalo Sabres. I think that is a nice one. I'll also sprinkle the puck line for all 3 of those. Let's make some freaking money. Let's not mess around with these games tonight. James, thank you so very much. We definitely made some money last night. Hopefully you guys were able to catch me on Sports Grid as well. We made some more money on that. Kelly, thanks for joining us here today. All the best in your bets tonight. Kev, you're going to ride with the Sabres on the money line and the Wild on the money line. I absolutely love it. You guys, it's going to be a freaking fantastic night on the ice. I can feel it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. make sure you hit that subscribe. I've got a couple of prop bets floating around. My Cup of Joe is coming out right away. It is in the NBA, so make sure you check that out. But it's the Clippers and the Warriors. Warriors absolutely struggling on the road. You guys, I'm hitting the over 236.5. Go get it now before this total moves. I've seen some books go with 237. So that's my Cup of Joe play just for you guys for being here today. We should see a high scoring one in that. Both Steph Curry and Kawhi Leonard hitting those threes from beyond the arc like crazy. So I might hit Kawhi over 2.5 3-pointers today. What's it coming in? Minus 100 for Kawhi. I'm debating that one. So that's where I'm going. You guys have a good one. Keep smiling. See you back here tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. Bye, guys.